Gather up your projects, settle in your favorite spot. It's time to stitch with Sarah at her stitchy Camelot. Let's celebrate each other, this community we've got. It's time to get down to Sarah's stitchy spot.
Hello everyone, my name is Sarah. Welcome to my FlossTube channel, where we will discuss and celebrate all things cross-stitch. Grab your favorite beverage, get comfortable, and join me
at Sarah's stitchy spot.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and this is FlossTube number 16. It is Wednesday, February 1st, 2023. Can you guys believe that the month of January has come and gone? So we are here today to talk about some cross-stitch. I always like to start my videos with a special thanks and a lot of love to my husband, Stan, for writing and performing the opening song at the beginning of this video. If you are new to this channel, I hope you like what you see and that you will subscribe, ring the bell, share, like, and do all the things that we do on YouTube. My wonderful viewers that keep coming back, thank you, thank you, thank you. You all mean the world to me. And I'm looking forward to our continued journey in 2023. I do want to just make a statement to start this off. The last video was all about Sampler Symposium. I talked about feeling all of you helping with your thoughts and your good wishes, that I made it in all the rain that we were having. But I seem to sort of neglect in all of that the fact that I didn't send out thoughts to those that were impacted by the rain, the flooding, that may have lost homes or had damage to their homes. There were some deaths. And that was very negligent on my part. So I do want to let you all know that I am thinking about all of you in California that were impacted by all that water. And I want to sincerely apologize for sort of glossing over that in my last video. So I want to talk about a couple of comments, get a little housekeeping out of the way, and then we'll go into the regular segments that we have on my FlossTube. The first one is that Deborah made a comment that I thought was brilliant, and she was referring to the 2 skeins of Cosmo thread that I had received from Rita, a friend of mine, when we were at Sampler Symposium, and she suggested like a small redwork sampler would be perfect for trying out those, and I thought that was brilliant. And so, Deborah, I wanted to thank you for that, and I absolutely will be trying to pick out a small one and try to whip that out and see how those Cosmos work for me. I also wanted to mention there was a lot of talk. There has been a lot of talk. A lot of you are purchasing Ursula's sampler by Samplers in the Attic. Jean and I had been corresponding, and she wanted me to clarify, and I will clarify. Jean did not design that herself. She owns that redwork sampler, and she had it reproduced. And she actually has several more redwork samplers that she owns, and so we can all hope that maybe she will get those reproduced as well, because I saw pictures of them and they are absolutely gorgeous. So it doesn't take away the fact that Jean owns them and that it is a perfect sampler to celebrate Jean in the cross-stitching community. But she did want to clarify that she did not chart them herself. So I wanted to get that piece of information out there to all of you. I also want to insert a picture here of a picture of the Smith sampler that was done by Angie Sawyer. She is on Instagram. I will put her Instagram handle across the bottom here. She did this sampler, and you know it's dear to a lot of us, and especially to me as well, because I am stitching it. She stitched this 1/1 on a 25 count vintage country mocha with the called for silk. She did substitute the Dinky Dyes Fireside for the terracotta, but I just thought it was brilliant. And I had the good fortune of seeing just a little bit of the start of this in person at one of our stitch-alongs with For the Love of Stitches that we have in Sacramento. So I wanted to share that with you guys because it is a beautiful finish that she has, and I know she's very proud of it, as we all would be. Okay, so let's see. Let's go to, I wanted to give a big thank you to Corynne at Corey Creates. She had some very nice things to say about Stan's intro song, and Corey, I want to thank you for that. If you haven't gotten over to watch her FlossTube, it is wonderful. She is a quilter and a cross-stitcher, and she is very talented, and I enjoy her videos very much. The new FlossTubers that I have watched since we last met, Deborah with Kensington Cross Stitch. Go check her out. Liz and Shelly with the Antique Needleworkers. The lovely Lauren, who is the New Hampshire stitcher. She is a young stitcher, and she's stitching beautiful pieces that I know that you would all enjoy. And I also wanted to send you, I have spoken of Phoebe before. Phoebe was doing her FlossTubes under a FlossTube channel that or a YouTube channel that she had created, and she was doing both her FlossTube, and she also makes independent nail polish. She has a nail polish company. She has changed her FlossTube channel to Moonshine Stitchery, and that is Phoebe. Her stitching is amazing. She dyes her own fabrics for a lot of her pieces, and so I just wanted to make that notation and maybe have you guys go check her out. So that's Moonshine Stitchery, and I will put all that information in the drop-down box. I also this morning watched Stitching Sally. She's over in England, and she's just delightful and stitches some beautiful pieces as well. And she's very gentle and calming, and I think that you all would enjoy her as well. So those were the FlossTubes that I wanted to mention. So I think we're ready to head into our regular segments. And you know what? I'm going to stop this right quick because I have a previous finish and I didn't get it out. So hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I have some things I'm kind of excited about. I have a previous finish, and I have some fully finished, and I have something that I've made for the very first time, and I'm very proud of it. So, okay, so we will start with this little finish. This is Valentine, and it's by, it was a free pattern from the Primitive Hair. I am trying to finish these with whatever I have available. So this was the fabric that I used on the back. I would love to tell you I know what it's stitched on. I think it was a 32 count Witchelt of some kind. I'm not really fond of that fabric. And I'm pretty positive that this is a Mrs. Sadie's silk in the color Rouge, R-O-U-G-E. And I do want to put a trim on it. I really like the trims, but I didn't have anything that matched. And so I will get that done. But a little piece for Valentine's Day, which is coming up in this month of February. So that is Valentine by the Primitive Hair. I also am trying to keep up with the 12 ornaments in 2023. And so this was the first ornament that I finished. And this is Joy, and this is by Luminous Fiber Arts. I'm you know, I subscribe to Annie of the Proper Stitcher. I subscribe to her philosophy 100%. I would rather have something that's finished than just laying in a drawer somewhere. This was the background. I stuck some ribbon around it and put some pins, probably not perfectly equidistant, but it will look lovely on a tree with lights. And I have a January ornament that's finished. So 11 more to go. So that is Joy. I don't know, this looks like a variegated, I probably used an overdyed. I don't know if it was Schoolhouse Red. I did finish this probably a year ago, and I didn't keep the information. But so that is my first ornament for 2023. And now I'm so excited. I made my first project bag. I watched Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch, her video, which is called How to Make a Project Bag Lined with Zipper. Any of you, I know that you all know Elizabeth Ann, and she is just amazing. She was so helpful to me. I had a question about a zipper. I asked her. She responded quickly. Elizabeth Ann, I thank you so much. I even sent her a very silly video yesterday because I was so excited. So without further ado, my first project bag. This is just fabric that I've had around the house, and it is it's lined with a batik. The zipper gave me absolute fits. I thought I would lose my mind, but I figured out what I was trying to do that you can't do. And so I think that they will only get easier from here. And my plan is I would really like to start incorporating some of my smaller cross-stitch pieces into project bags. I did use the fusible fleece interfacing that Liz recommends in her video. I encourage you to take a look at that if you're thinking about making your own bags. But my first one. So again, you know, I really thank you guys. It's not like I do this because I think you expect it, but I love to be able to share these things with you that I've really been wanting to do. And so I feel like we, as I said in the very first video, we sort of collectively hold hands and jump off the cliff together. And now I have a project bag. So thank you. So those are my preview. Oh, now for the piece de resistance. This has a story. When Stan and I married, and that will be 23 years ago this October, my father had passed, and a wonderful man named Frank Latson gave me away. Frank was the artistic director at our local Equity House Theater here in Sonora. And he was a very dear friend. He worked with the daughter that's pregnant. She was acting a lot at the time, and he directed her in several plays. He worked with me with some acting coaching, and cast me in a couple of plays that he directed as well. And during that time, we became very close, and so I asked him if he would give me away. Frank died several years back, and I had made a piece of cross-stitch for him to take when he left to go on to his next job, which was in Dallas, Texas, actually. And he lived there with his husband, Al, until he passed, and Al and I have remained in touch. And while I was at the Sampler Symposium, I got an email from Al saying that he had packed up the cross-stitch piece that I had made for Frank, and he thought that I should have it. And so I was I was touched beyond belief, because I know Frank and Al had kept it on an easel in their bedroom. And so it's so wonderful. Isn't this just an incredible thing that we have with our stitching? Not only can we do it and enjoy it in our homes, we can give it to those that appreciate it, and then often have the chance to have it come back to us as a reminder of those people that we have shared our stitching with. So without further ado, I'm going to show you the piece. Stan also made the frame for this, and it is King Arthur and Guinevere. It is a piece that is by Vermilion Stitchery. When I looked it up, it was out of stock. It appears to be loaded with Krynex, which I probably would never do again, but I don't think I minded them at the time. I did this piece in particular because it was one of Frank's favorite musicals, and he had directed it, I think, even more than once. And so this is King Arthur and Guinevere by Vermilion Stitchery. I'm sure that it came as a kit, but I don't know for sure. This was at least 20 years ago that I did this. And again, Stan made the frame, and we probably took it to the local framer and they did the lacing, and then we put it in the frame for us. So yeah, so I love you, Frank, and I'm glad I have you guys to share that piece with. So that is my previous finishes and my fully finished objects. So we will go to, I had one new start, and that was Next Door by Heartstring Samplery. I have a plan for this. And I am stitching this on a 36 count Up in the Attic by Fox and Rabbit, and I'm using mostly the called fors. I did put a Mrs. Sada's silk to substitute for the $37.99 in the DMC, and I'm using 730 for the pine needles that I didn't have, but these are the flosses. I think there's one more kind of deep teal green that I haven't put on the cards yet. These are the little floss cards that came from Terry Wiley that made my little basket that I showed you guys last time. So this is my progress on this new start. And of course there's a thread, but I got a good start on it. I'm hoping it won't take too long. I plan to make it into a pillow, and it will be off to a special recipient. So that is Next Door, isn't that beautiful? By Heartstring Samplery. And that was my my new start for since I've seen you last. Okay, now it's time for WIPs. You guys are going to think I'm doing a WIP parade, and in probably most stitchers' world, it would be a WIP parade, but this is just what I've laid hands on in the last 2 weeks. So bear with me, and we'll dive in here and go through that. So I kind of separated. I'm trying to stitch Christmas on the 25th of the month. So I did do, I laid hands on 3 pieces, and they are Christmas Rose by Blackbird Designs. This is a piece that I am going to also do to honor my mother, and where these initials are here, I will put my mother's initials because her middle name is Rose. And I am stitching this on 36 count Ren by Picture This Plus, and I'm using the called for overdyed flosses. And this is what let's get these a little bit out of the way. This is what I have done so far. So this shared the 25th of January with 2 other pieces, but I love it. It's just so beautiful. It's so sweet. So that is Christmas Rose by Blackbird Designs. And okay, the other piece that I worked on is the Prairie Schooler. In book number 28, I have been working on this little sampler ornament, and I am stitching this on a 36 count cola by XJU Designs. I'm using the called for DMC, and so I got a little further along with that, brought the alphabet down. I just love it on this fabric. It's great. So that is the Prairie Schooler book number 28. And so that's the little sampler part. And then I also put some work on A Little Bit of Christmas, which is by Samplers and Stitches. And I am stitching this on a 32 count Lugana by Color and Cotton in the color Warm Sienna. I'm using the called for over-dyed floss, except that I substituted DMC 732 for the pea pod. And let's see, this is my progress so far on that. So I did get more of the letters done and pulled this holly and ivy type trim across. So that is A Little Bit of Christmas by Samplers and Stitches. So those were the 3 pieces that I touched this 25th, and my, like I said, my hope is to continue to do stitching on the 25th for Christmas. So now, because I have a lot of stuff around me, I'm going to clear away some stuff and I'll bring in the rest of my WIPs. Okay, be right back. Okay, I'm back. And here we go. My WIPs, which are works in progress since I saw you last, which will seem a bit like a WIP parade. So, all right, the first one is Real Comfort. And I am getting this back out to participate in a stitch along with Sarah of Sew Me Sarah. That hashtag is SMS Real Comfort Sal. I had previously started this. This is by Modern Folk Embroidery, and I will show you the chart here. This was a commemoration of Jane Austen. I think it was the 200 years, 1817 to 2017. And I am stitching this on a 36 count platinum Edinburgh, and I'm using Silks for You PR 123, which is just a gorgeous blue. You can see that here. Isn't that beautiful? And this is my progress so far. So that is Real Comfort by Modern Folk Embroidery. And I will put the hashtag below if any of you guys want to join in with Sarah on this stitch along. Okay, so my next piece is the Smith sampler. I I got itchy to touch it a bit, and so I have. I think I worked on it a couple of days. This is the chart, and this is by the Scarlet House. And I am stitching this on a 36 count cottage stone by Corynne Cotton. This was kitted up at the attic when I went in February of 2022, and I'm using the called for silks. I did substitute weathered vine for the Tacna Gold, and I'm using Gentle Arts maple syrup for the woolly bear. Those weren't available at the time. And actually, I have dangling threads, but it's not where I was working. So I have concentrated on this and some of this border here. I made some color goofs in those triangles, and they're gonna live there because I'm not gonna take them out. But I was using the wrong color, but they're gonna stay. So this is the Smith Sampler by the Scarlet House. I just love the whites in this, especially with the, I think that's a terracotta. It's just gorgeous. The Smith Sampler by the Scarlet House. Okay, and next we have, oh, good old Pandemic. And this is the chart. This is by Long Dog Samplers. I actually laid hands on this a couple of sewing sessions in the last 2 weeks. And I am stitching this on a 32 count Platinum Lugana. I am stitching it 1/2, and I'm using DMC. And as one of my commenters know, and you know who you are, has accused me of making bed sheets. But it probably would cover at least a small twin bed. And I have continued to work in this area as marked by the dangling thread. I do have this in Pattern Keeper, and I'm really enjoying it. So this is what I have done so far. Let's get that all open, and you can see. I back up. This one sometimes literally takes my breath away. It's just, oh, gorgeous. So that is Pandemic by Long Dog Sampler. I will keep chipping away. And it's so much fun to chip away when I have all of you to share and encourage me on with my stitching. It really does. It means just the world to me. I sort of did it again with a goof that I'm not going to fix. So this is Ira Ray, and I am stitching Mr. Ira Ray by the Good Housewife on a 36 count marble terracotta by Extrude Designs using the called for DMC. I had planned to do this with the flowers between them at a lower level. I just dived in one day and realized I had just been stitching away, and I had started down. So I just tried very hard not to go back. And a couple of thoughts that I've had. I did see on Yasmin Made with Love, she has the two of them together framed. And she's got the flowers up, and that looked okay. The other thought that I have had, because of the success with my project bag, depending on the finished size and how it looks, this would be something that I might leave by itself and do both of them and put it on a project bag. But anyway, I try, as Jean always says, don't go backwards. And so I'm going to leave the tall stalks. And this is what I did. So I have taken this bottom piece all the way across and started those flowers. He was finished last time you saw him, completely clothed, shall we say. So that's Ira Ray by The Good Housewife, so kindly given to me by Julie Norton of Running with Scissors, Stitching with Jane and Julie. Thank you, Julie. I think about you every time I stitch on this piece. My next piece is, excuse me. I'm back. You know, you just have to like go away and come back. And I wish I could do it like crisscross stitch. Remember? He could like snap his fingers and do all that. Anyway, okay, so my next piece is Feast of Friendship. And I am trying to make sure that I touch this on the 24th of the month. This was a piece that was started by Barb in the FlossTube Lost and Floss, honoring Leanne, who passed away. And her birthday was August 24th. And so she started a hashtag Leanne's Legacy. And she suggested you could stitch on anything that you wanted, but Leanne loved the fall. And so I picked Feast of Friendship by Blackbird Designs. And I am stitching this on a 36 count vellum by Picture This Plus. And I'm using all the called for overdyed floss. And so I picked this up on the 24th. And this is my progress. I got all of this done in here, and I got this pulled down. And I'll be very close to starting that beautiful vase that holds all the fruits. So this is Feast of Friendship. I guess my threads are a little much on this, but I'm very conservative with threads. I try to use them until they're gone. And because I work on so many different pieces each week, I don't really have a place I don't tie them off, because sometimes I'm going to go right back to them. And it's just sort of a thing that I have done all my life with my stitching, was leaving park threads. So I hope you've all been very kind about those. But anyway, so that is Feast of Friendship by Blackbird Design. My next piece is Ursilia's Sampler. And here is the chart for that. And that is by Samplers in My Attic. And this is a piece that Jean owned and had charted professionally. I am stitching this on a 36 count Just the Ticket by Tabby Cat. This was given to me by, or picked out by Jean at the attic when we were there for Sampler Symposium. And I am using the Belsois silk in the colorway Tulip. And this is my progress. I don't think I have a thread dangling. How amazing. So I have, I think last time I only had the A done, and now the B, C, and D are done. And you can see that gorgeous variegation in the silk. I love this piece. My friend Bettina is going to be stitching this. Stacy, the 911 stitcher, picked up this chart and fabric for Bettina. Bettina lives in Germany, and she was the one that actually made us aware that this sampler existed. And so she has done a post that she received the package from Stacy. And I know she's looking forward to getting started on that. So that's Ursula's sampler by Samplers in My Attic. And then the companion piece with that for my Thursday stitching is Mary 395 and by Hands Across the Sea. And I am stitching this on a 36 count antique ivory Edinburgh using Gloriana poinsettia and hollyberry. This was kitted up at one of my visits to Acorn and Threads. And so this is the chart. It's just, and I'm getting really close to getting to do some of the fun part. So I have done a lot of the Roman numerals now. I finished that row over there, and then now I've come down to this bottom row. I think my next row will be fun stuff. So I'll start getting to do those motifs. This is primarily done in the poinsettia. I have picked a couple of the smaller alphabets and done them in the hollyberry just to make sure that I have enough thread. So that is Mary 395, a Bristol sampler by Hands Across the Sea. And I stitch on those on Thursdays, is my red sampler Thursday. And I will stitch on these pieces until they are completed. Okay. And then my focus piece is Thurza Priscilla Dawes. This was designed by Julie under the name Hemlock and Rye. Julie of Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World. I will insert a picture here of the completed chart. As a focus piece, I work on it for 7 days, a month, and I will do that until it's complete. This is being stitched on a 36 count Eureka by Fox and Rabbit with the called for DMC using the aged colorway. So the colors that Julie matched from the front of the piece, which may be more faded, muted, dirty. And so this is my progress after 7 days in the month of January. So this is really coming along because I am down to the bottom. I've done that big bird, the little funny person. I'm going across. So we are close. So that's Thurza Priscilla Dawes. She is a queen of color changes, which is why I again have my threads. But I'm just enchanted by this piece. It's just lovely. So that is my focus piece, and as you all know, I got that idea from Corynne at the Recovering Monogamous Stitcher. I always like to tell Corynne thank you because I am seeing great progress, and it was my first one was Fruits of Plenty, which, as you guys know, I did get that finished. So thank you, Corynne. Okay, the next piece is my temperature butterflies, and I will put a picture here, I think. Do I have a picture of that? I do. I won't have to put a picture. There it is. This is Temperature Butterflies by Stitchin' Mama. This is for 2022, but I was so close. I had done almost 8 of the months when the year ended, and I really like it. So I am putting in 2 threads a day, 25 minutes until this is finished. So I am stitching this on a 32 count, let's see, Seraphim in Summer Storm, and I'm using the called for DMCs. And this is my progress. So the September butterfly is complete. I am filling in the October, which, as you can see, we're still with some warm temperatures. Not the hots, but warm. And I do like kind of going back and forth between doing the infrastructure on the butterfly as I fill this in on the next one, because it's so nice to have one ready to fill in, because that's the enjoyable and the easy part, not so much counting. So Temperature Butterflies by Stitch and Mommy. I love this piece of fabric as well. I love Seraphim fabric. It's just a delight to stitch on. So that is, I stitch on this pretty much every day. I might miss one every now and then, but, and then this piece, which is also getting very close to being finished, and I will put a picture here, is Welcome to the World, and it's by Stitch Rovia. And I am stitching this on a 20 count Aida in antique white, and I'm using the called for DMC. And as you can see, I have started, I probably shouldn't show that name, so just don't look at that. I forgot about that. So I'm not going to put that, but I've got it pretty much done. I do need to do some fill in on the clouds below the little moon that's sleeping there. And I will put the rest of the information about the baby. And I'm going to make this into a pillow. I've got some beautiful chenille that matches these aquas that I'm going to put around it. And I will get that to the baby, because as you all know, I got to get another one started. Eva is due February 8th, so all right. I'm having a stacking problem because I have a few WIPs here, and yet we continue. Okay, so this piece is Myra Dunn, 1922, and it is by Whilst Iris Naps. I picked this out because of the 1922, and that was the year my mother was born. I don't think I have the information here on what I'm stitching this on. I know it is a 36 count. It's a piece of Weeks, but I don't remember the name. But I am using a Silks for You that was unnamed in this deep mauve, lavender, purple color. And so this is my progress on this, which as you can see, let's go back to here. There's really not that much left. I still have some border to do, but so that is Myra Dunn, 1922, and it's a small sampler that I'm doing to honor my mother. Eva Rose. Okay. My next piece is also a participation in a stitch along, and this was the hats first week of the month sal that was started by Laura of Brenda and the Serial Starter, and you are to stitch on any Hands Across the Sea pattern for the first 7 days of the month. So I did stitch on my piece this morning, and it is Mary Snow. by Hands Across the Sea. I am stitching this on a 36 count winter wheat by Corynne Cotton, and I am using the called for DMCs, and this is my progress so far. So there's really not a whole lot below this. It's a small sampler, but oh my gosh, it is so sweet. So that is Mary Snow by Hands Across the Sea. I am using DMC. I'm stitching, which I have not been mentioning, but it is 1 thread over 2 on 36 count. So I will give the first 7 days of this month, it will get some stitchy time. And then my next WIP was the piece that I started on June 1st of my retirement, and that is Move Forward in Love by Modern Folk Embroidery. He designed this to celebrate Pride Month, Pride Year. If those of you that may be new, when I started my residency, I was living, I did that in Chicago, and it was at the height of the AIDS epidemic. And I was working in a gay community at the time, so this piece has special meaning to me, and honors all those lives that we lost to AIDS. And I also chose the phrase "move forward in love, move forward with love" as my words to concentrate on for the year. So, you know, if we just love. And this is my progress so far. I am stitching this on a, let's see, 32 count Lakeside in cotton candy, and I'm using the called for DMCs. I can get that piece of thread off here so you can see. I have nearly finished the medallion. I've got a little bit of that purple at the bottom, and then I'll just finish up with the birds and the flowers and the border. But I do want to get this finished before June 1st. So that is Move Forward in Love by Modern Folk Embroidery. Okay. And my last piece, can you believe it? Didn't that feel like a WIP parade? Is Martha Evans, which is also part of a salve for Brenda of Brenda and the Serial Starter, her 60th birthday. It's Martha Evans by the Scarlet House, and the hashtag is Brenda's Big Birthday Sal. I'm stitching this on my first piece of 40 count, and I'm doing it on Prairie Grass by Seraphim, and I'm using the called for DMC. And I am just so happy to report that I seem to be doing just fine on 40 count. So this is the absolutely stunning, exquisite chart. Tanya, congratulations. You just keep on keeping on. And this is my progress so far. It's another big piece of fabric. And so this is what I have finished, that bird. And I have started that little rabbit, little gray rabbit. And I do stitch just a little bit slower because I'm trying to be careful, but I don't find that it's any real hardship for my eyes with my lighting. And so that is Martha Evans by the Scarlet House. and that is for Brenda's 60th birthday. So those are my WIPs, my works in progress for the since I saw you last. So I have just, I think, one piece of haul that I wanted to talk about. If you aren't watching Yasmin Made with Love, I do encourage you to check out her FlossTube. She has been accepted to the London Marathon, which is quite an accomplishment. I can't even imagine running that much. And part of her fundraising is, I'm going to forget the name, but I do encourage you to go to her FlossTube, which was FlossTube number 35. She talks about the charts. If you make a donation, and she's got the links below in her video, to the charity that she's raising money for, which is to work with mentally challenged young people, then if you send that receipt, forward that to her email, then she has one of 4 charts that you can pick from. And I selected this one, which is just stunning. And it says, "Diversity is embracing the uniqueness of others." And I was just blown away when I saw it. The other charts are equally as good. There's another chart with a bird. Yasmin loves birds. In fact, her most recent video that I watched this morning, she shows a lot of charts using birds and a lot of finishes that she has and the way she has displayed them. And it is really worth a watch. And she's going to be a stunning designer. She is also finishing up what I think is like credentialing that we do here in the United States, in England, to teach. So she's quite active, and I celebrate everything that you're doing, Yasmin. So that was the one piece of haul. I made a donation and downloaded. She sent me the file for that chart. So let's see where we are. Okay, we're doing pretty good here. Now, I just pulled a few charts that I have either partially kitted or have kitted that embrace the flavor of Valentine's Day. And before I do that, though, I do want to show, this is the chart, Keepers of the Pins by Brenda Gervais. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to select one of these for Sheri's winter cross-stitch camp. If you go to her FlossTube channel, Colorado Cross Stitcher, you can get all the information on that. You do need to post your chart, your fabric, without any stitching. That would start today. And then if you can finish the piece within the month of February and post that on Instagram, then I think she puts you in a selection for some really very nice prizes. So the overall theme for Winter Cross Stitch Camp is a collection or a series. And so I would actually like to do all of these, but I would like to have a collection of redwork pieces that would go in a dough bowl or could be out in a display. So I did want to show you that chart because I had mentioned it previously. And I will just pull from my stash. I will pick a piece of fabric and any of the beautiful reds that I have and get started on that. So that was another plan that I have. And then these are just some charts that I just thought I would share with you. They're kind of random, that embrace love and friendship and relationships for the month of February, which is Valentine's, has the Valentine's holiday. My first one is Let Love Rain by Teresa Kogut. I don't know. Let's see if we can find a... There we go. There we go. I don't want you to see the chart. How about that? I do not have this kitted. I have this purchased, but again, my oldest daughter gave this to me for my birthday. So that is Let Love Rain by Teresa Kogut. I have a couple from Lindy Stitches, and this is the first one. And this is fully kitted. I have fabric and floss. And it says, "We were together, I forget the rest." Let me find, there we go. So that is Lindy Stitches. And I have a second one from her, which is Stars Bright. And I do have the fabric. And this one says, "We would be together and have our books, and at night be warm in our bed together with the windows open and the stars bright." It's so beautiful. A lot of stitching, and the border is definitely going to have a lot of color changes, but I hope to get that started at some point, maybe not this Valentine's. So those are two pieces by Lindy Stitches. Then this was a piece that I do have actually I have fabric and threads for, and this is Leela Studio, the anniversary. Which is just beautiful. And let's see what else we have here. A Barbara Anna, which is Love Never Fails. Yeah, it looks like I actually have this kitted up. I have fabric and threads in the bag. So, Love Never Fails. And the last piece, which I just love this piece. This may be the start that I do for the month of Valentine's Day. And it's Plum Street Samplers, Sweetheart Hill. I know it's been done, and I know it is so stitch heavy, but it just, the first time I saw it, it just grabbed my heart. So just a few ideas for the month of February, the month of love. And so I probably will pick one of those to start this month after I have focused on the first 7 days of the month on Mary Snow. Tomorrow morning, I may quickly get a start in on Keeper of the Pins, one of those smalls, and get that photographed and up on Instagram for Winter Cross Stitch Camp. Other than that, I plan to continue to just grab at my WIPs. I just feel like a child in a candy store every morning when I don't have a specific piece that has my time. I am just grabbing and touching and enjoying everything so much. I have a few WIPs. I probably won't do a full WIP parade until closer to around my year anniversary, which wouldn't be until July. But now, the other thing that I'm going to do right here at the end is to tell you guys, and this is to hold me accountable. My next video is going to have a video of my stitchy spot. That is the name of my channel, is Sarah's Stitchy Spot. And I am up to 16 videos, and you guys have never seen it. So I'm probably going to have Stan try to take a video, and I will insert it for the next FlossTube. So you guys, I'm on record, and I try to never go back on any type of promises or things that I say I'm going to do. So you'll all get a chance to see where I stitch and the wonderful table that my husband has made for me, and you will see when we show you that how unique it is and how wonderful it is for me to have to use as I stitch. So I think the segments are covered. Again, I always want to thank you if you are new, and I hope you liked what you saw. I hope you will subscribe and ring the bell and like and share. I keep each of you in my heart. I look so forward to your comments. I look so forward to answering your comments. Again, every FlossTube that goes by, I feel like there are those of you that I get to know just a little bit better, and I love that. And I always encourage you to tag me if you do a post on Instagram, so I can also share with your stitching. You all mean the world to me. So I think I have said it all. So I will ask you to grab your stitching, get comfortable, and stitch what you love, and move forward with love. Okay, bye-bye.